Today, I'm going to tell you the reason why you should be more elegant in 2025. Hi, how are you? I'm Juliana Santiago, a teacher specialized in etiquette, and you're on the Etiquette and Protocol channel. And today we're going to talk a little more about why you should strive to be a more elegant person. We talk a lot about elegance. We see a lot of content on social media, in books, and in fact, we find it interesting, but we get a little confused about what it really means to be elegant. Many people end up associating elegance with royalty, with more feminine behavior, with more refined behavior, with more delicate behavior. And in fact, striving for that is being more elegant. But elegance goes far beyond just becoming a 2.0 version of Kate Middleton, who is married to Prince William. So today we're going to talk a little about what elegance will really bring to you. We need to start this video by emphasizing 2 points. Elegance will help you a lot in building more confidence. So people will see you as a more credible person. Because if you are someone who seeks to be more elegant, naturally, you will have good manners, you will be polite to people, you will be kind to people, you will be someone who respects others. And all of this will generate a lot of trust when people think of you and remember you. This also generates a lot of credibility for you, whether it's personal credibility, people trusting you, believing in what you say, among friends, among your relatives, in your family, but also in the professional environment where we also benefit. People even start hiring you more. They want to promote you. They want to have you close by for projects. And they also end up trusting you more. So that's a really big advantage you get from being elegant. So don't just try to be elegant, but also understand a little more about what it means to be elegant and what benefits it will bring you. Another point is also emotional connection. People connect more and relate more. They feel more comfortable when they feel good around someone. So when you feel connected to someone, you want to talk a little more about your projects. You want to talk a little more about your goals. You want to talk a little more about your life purpose. You share dreams, you share projects. So this is a very strong gain because when you bring this to your personal side, to your social side, people invite you to more parties. They want your presence more. They want to have you around, and you end up being a special person in the group. On the professional side, this also has a very strong benefit because people end up believing in you more. They involve you more in the projects they're going to launch and promote. And they also remember you more. So when it comes to sales, if you also work selling something, this will help you a lot. Now you really understand why you can be more elegant in 2025, right? You will generate credibility, you will build trust, and you will also create an emotional connection. And now, do you understand what benefits this brings to your life? Let's learn how to be more elegant in 2025. The first point is to have good manners, right? Have good behavior, be well-mannered. And how are you going to do this in a practical way? Are you going to greet people? So when you get in the elevator, when you arrive at your company, you should, yes, greet those who are there by your side. When passing your building's entrance, greet the doorman or anyone present. If you, for example, arrive at the gym and there is a receptionist, greet the receptionist. All of this will make a big difference in the impact you will have there in that environment. So people will feel your presence more just by you greeting them in the right way. And how are you going to do that? At work, if you see everyone there every day, it's not a job where you work from home and only occasionally see your coworkers. Or if you're not receiving any clients, someone special who is going to visit the company. A wave, a glance, eye contact with the people who are there and share that environment with you, and a smile. That will already be a very effective way of greeting. Now, for example, if you're welcoming someone from outside to your company, a supervisor has arrived in your area and he's never usually there. So it's a good idea for you to stand up and go over there to give that person some attention. Remember that in professional environments, the person with the highest hierarchical level will always set the way they want to be greeted. So what I recommend is that you stand up, show that you want to greet them, and then wait to see how the other person will react. If you are the person with the highest hierarchical level who is going to an area or an environment, what should you do? In that case, I suggest that you initiate a handshake because a greeting with physical contact, it always has more emotional involvement, which is what we want there to be more elegant, okay? This applies to everyone, whether male or female, especially in social settings like the gym. You pass by the doorman, got into the elevator. There's no need to greet people with physical contact. What I recommend you do is look at the person, give a smile and a wave. All of this will already create an emotional connection and the other person will feel your presence more. Remember that this can also be followed by a greeting. Hi, how are you? Isn't it nice to emphasize someone's name if you know it? So always say the name of the person you're greeting. If you meet a neighbor and you know their name, it's important to emphasize it. Regardless if it's a teenager, a child, an adult, or an older person, this creates a very positive impact and it also becomes a habit for you. If you only have the habit of greeting people by name when you're closer to them, that's a mistake. I don't recommend that you do that. If you know the person's name, regardless of whether it's a child, greet them the right way, reinforce their name, say hello, give a wave, a smile, and make eye contact. This will help you a lot. Besides the greeting, we need to think about elegance towards those who aren't talking to you. So elegance goes way beyond that. It's more than just someone talking and having some kind of interaction with you. If someone sees you, if someone observes you, they can already form an impression of who you are, of what you convey, whether you want it or not. Body language has been present in our society since primitive man. So even before man had language, speech, or languages, primitive man already communicated through nonverbal expressions. So all your nonverbal communication, all your body language needs to be aligned with a more positive body language. This will help you make a more elegant impression, even if the person doesn't speak to you. And how can you apply this in your daily life? First thing, avoid keeping your shoulders too low. Try to always maintain good posture, whether you're sitting or standing. All of this will help you a lot. In a work meeting, also avoid keeping your body too relaxed. Even in social settings, at a barbecue or in a formal environment. Why sit like that, right? Sitting with a very relaxed posture. That, in some cases, can even be interpreted as a lack of interest, which doesn't align with the posture of an elegant person. So try to maintain good posture. Your chin should always be aligned parallel to the floor. Try to keep your chest more open. That will help you project the image of a confident, interested, and present person in the environment. And if you've decided to be a more elegant person in 2025, do you want to know more ways to apply this in your daily life? Well, I'm going to offer a series of free online classes for you who really want to become an even more elegant person this year. Click the link below and get all the information you need to join me for free in this series of classes that will take place online. This is meant to help you grow in 2025 and become truly elegant. I'll be waiting for you. Now, continuing on, we're going to talk a little more about how you can be elegant in the workplace. I've already given you some tips here so you can actually become a more elegant person. Maintain good posture, greet people. You'll do this in any situation, and at work it won't be any different. But it's important that you see the potential to be a more elegant person at work. And what benefits this can bring you, which can even boost your sales, your income, and give you a new job opportunity. To those out there attending job interviews, elegance is closely linked to the work environment, and those who haven't understood this yet are really missing out on a great opportunity to boost their results. And how can you do that? In a really simple way. Being late for business meetings. In social settings, we have this habit of being late, but in a professional environment, it becomes a rule. You need to arrive on time and establish this commitment. People will trust you more and believe in you more if you arrive at the agreed time. Another point is also to have appropriate attire. So how do your leaders dress? In that environment where you work, what do you see and understand as the most appropriate? Nowadays, it's very difficult for us to talk about a standardized dress code, a standard outfit for all types of companies. Because today there are thousands of business models, but there are some things we really should avoid. Like, for example, clothes that are too revealing, clothes that are too short, clothes with polka dots, dirty clothes, or clothes that don't smell good. Sometimes you're used to wearing, for example, the same pants for more than one day, but those pants still smell nice. They're appropriate for you to wear in the workplace. So always pay attention to that and carefully analyze the environment where you work. If you work in a legal environment, for example, wearing more formal clothing is more in line with what people expect in this environment. If you work at an advertising agency, it's normal for your clothing to be more informal, colorful, and creative. So we adapt, we don't change our style, but we should follow standards, yes. It's just like when we were in school. The school had uniforms and the standards that the school required. And this is no different. My daughter, she studies at a school and there are dress standards that the school sets as a dress code for that environment. This won't be any different in the workplace. So it's important for us to understand a little more so we can choose what we're going to wear, okay? And people, even if it doesn't seem like it, they really pay attention to what you wear, your clothing. It will closely match that nonverbal communication. So even if you are someone who communicates very well, extremely charismatic, people like you, and you have good posture, will this boost your image? Will it? But your clothing will also be important for you to convey this more powerful image. And this isn't about wearing designer clothes or expensive clothes, but rather about wearing appropriate clothes. It's important to emphasize this because sometimes I see that you end up confusing this here in the comments. Another point for you to be a more elegant person is to try to bring a little more communication that's suitable for your daily life. So avoid speaking too loudly, avoid yelling too much at people, avoid during a conversation being the only one who talks, the only one who argues, and not paying attention to what the other person is saying. Everything that concerns your communication and the way you talk to the other person should be very well analyzed and pointed out by you. Today, when you have a conversation, you give people time to speak and express something with you. The other day, I got in the elevator with someone and only they spoke. She kept jumping from one topic to another, and I barely had the chance to ask how she was doing because she talked so much right there that it became extremely exhausting for me. So be very careful and try to notice when you meet someone for a short time, for just a few seconds, if you were able to pick up any message from that person. Do you remember anything that person said to you? Because if you don't remember, it's because you're not letting other people talk. If you can't recall anything the other person said in a conversation, you were likely the only one talking. So that's not interesting. We need to let the other person talk, to listen more to what the other has to say. Even if they're basic things, even events they've experienced, things from their routine, it's important for us to point all of that out. Another thing is to avoid always wanting to lecture, to act like a teacher, to put yourself above other people. This is a very common habit, and people make this mistake a lot. To appear more elegant, in addition to communication, greet people, maintain good posture, and use good manners in the workplace. It's important for you to pay attention to how you use your cell phone and how you use electronic devices. When you're around other people, you spend the whole time on your phone checking notifications. You stop the conversation with someone right there and immediately pick up your phone. Without even excusing yourself to the person, without even mentioning that you're stepping away to answer someone, you have the habit of taking out your phone and just staying there, looking at everything that's happening. Be very careful. Today, the internet really makes a lot of amazing things possible for us. In fact, you're here watching this video because of the internet. But we also need to be very careful about how we use it in our daily lives, especially when we interact with people. Filming people without their permission in social settings is not appropriate. Sometimes people may feel more comfortable and they don't want to be recorded at that particular moment. Sometimes you spend too much time on your phone and someone tries to talk to you, but you don't even pay attention. You arrive at an event while using your phone. People won't notice your arrival, they won't pay attention, and they'll also feel like you're not paying attention to them either. So it's important for us to notice all of this because the phone really is something that greatly harms our communication and the way we interact with others. I know these are just a few ways for you to be more elegant in 2025. And if you want to know more about how to be an elegant person in 2025, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and follow all of our content, because I'm sure it will really help you improve your habits even more in 2025. So you might ask me, Juliana, I want to be a more elegant person, but I have a lot of difficulty with these topics. I don't know how to talk to people, what I should say, what I shouldn't say. Help me. Well, I've already made a video talking about topics you shouldn't discuss with people you aren't close to. I think that video will complement the content of this one I'm making for you, and you've just watched it. Click here on the side to watch that video right after this one. I'm sure it will help you a lot. I'll be back soon with more etiquette and elegance content for 2025. I'll be waiting for you. Oh, and don't forget to sign up for our free online class series that's coming up. All the information is right here in the description of this video. See you soon.